What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central, and we are going to recap Game 6 where the Mets actually won a damn baseball game. Can you believe it? I cannot still believe it, as they won 2-1 over the Detroit Tigers, as they still lost the series here, the three-game set, but much needed if the Mets want any chance of turning this thing around. And I wasn't home. That's why this is going up late, but I did watch most of this game, even though I said I wasn't. The sucker I am watched most of this game. I only missed, I think, like the first inning or two. But regardless, we're going to talk about it, break it down. Before I do here, leave a like if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. I'm not going to sit here and put a fake smile on and pretend like I am overly satisfied, though, with this win. I'm very happy that they got a win because it was very important to get a win here in 2024. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm all ready to party and pop bottles and the season's back on, because let's be quite frank here. The Mets played like dog shit the majority of this baseball game in terms of the hitting, but thankfully here, the pitching kept them in the baseball game. And huge kudos to Jose Butto, huge kudos to Reed Garrett, both of them holding down the fort, holding this ball game down for the Mets to even be in a spot to win it, because if they did not, and the Tigers actually scored a few more runs, this would obviously be a game where we're talking about another loss, which the Tigers offense themselves, yikes for them this entire series in general too. They have good pitching, but man, do they need to work on their lineup. That's for damn sure, because Jose Butto, don't get me wrong, he looked solid. Like, he didn't necessarily wow me, but he gave more than what you could have asked for in this game. He gave 6 innings, which is more than I think anyone in the rotation has gone this season thus far. So giving you 6 innings, especially when you tax the bullpen as much as he did in game 1, 3 hits allowed, not bad. 3 walks, that you don't like. 6 strikeouts, though, and 1 earned run, not bad at all for Jose Butto. And of course, it was friggin' Javi Baez that got that RBI, because Colt Keith ended up walking, and then Javi Baez ended up driving him in to make it 1-0 there. But still, like, a very good outing for Jose Butto. And I still cannot rationalize or understand why they went out and got Julio Teheran when the butt man's right there. Put Jose Butto in the rotation. I'd rather watch Jose Butto trot out there every 5th day. Am I becoming a Jose Butto stan? I don't know. I never envisioned that given the way his first start went, but this is where we are. And he's looked very good ever since 2023, where he came up with the Mets. And even the spring, he looked very good. I would give Jose Butto more of a leash here, more of a shot. It's not going to happen. He was called up just because of the doubleheader, but that's just my opinion. And then Reed Garrett, too. Very good performance from him. Gave 3 innings, which, again, was really needed, especially because Yohan Ramirez was pretty much the only other guy available in that bullpen. So you really need to stretch things out here with Garrett, and he gave 3 innings, only 2 hits allowed, got 4 strikeouts, only allowed a walk, and didn't allow a single run. He limited the damage so much in this game, and he honestly is an unsung hero in this game for keeping the Mets in this for as long as humanly possible, because there were a couple jams for both him as well as Jose Butto where they had to get out of it, and they did, especially it was the 9th inning where things could have got ugly. Like, you get 2 men on with Green and Keith. Granted, there were 2 outs. Then there was the wild pitch. All of a sudden, runners in scoring position, and then he gets a huge strikeout to end the inning there, and then it gives the Mets a chance in the 9th inning to win. But regardless, I'm not going to sit here and pretend, like I said, that I'm to the moon about this, because of the fact that the offense went hitless. Let's not forget the majority of this baseball game. It took until the 8th inning for Harrison Bader, of all people, to get a single, a leadoff single that inning, for the Mets to be in this game. And who would have thought Harrison Bader was going to get the first hit of the game for the Mets, as after they go 11 or 12 straight innings of not getting a hit between the last few games combined. So yeah, great. Then Zach Short had a sacrifice bunt. All of a sudden, all right, the Mets have a chance maybe, and no, because Nimmo and Lindor have not done much. But the 9th inning, Pete Alonso, I don't know how this ball went out and how it left the ballpark, but somehow it did. I want to see what the exit velo was on that. It did not feel like Pete Alonso hit that hard. 101, it looked like it was way less velocity, but that's neither here nor there. Left the ballpark, and Pete Alonso ended up tying the game. Brett Beatty gets a huge walk. Marte, a beautiful sacrifice bunt. Tyrone Taylor drives him in with a single. So, again, they found a way to win, where most of the series, actually all of the series and all season long thus far, they have found ways to lose more than find ways to win. So you got to be happy they found a way to win. But again, you want to see their offense be a lot better than that. And quite frankly, do they have that level to them? I don't know. But Nimmo, again, another 0-4. Glad he walked 3 times, but you want to see him hit. You have Lindor, who went 0-4 with 2 strikeouts. Another rough day for him at the plate. Another rough game, I should say, because he had a rough game earlier too. Alonso, obviously in the clutch, had a big game. Really saved the narrative of what Pete Alonso would have been. If Pete Alonso got out in that last at bat, we're talking about an 0-4 with either 2 or 3 Ks. That would have changed the conversation a lot. Brett Beatty, again, continues to play pretty solid as well, getting that huge walk at the end. He didn't hit well necessarily, but again, he got a huge walk there, and he's been playing very good even defensively at the hot corner. So I'm loving what we're seeing from Brett Beatty thus far this season, considering the expectations, because the bar is very low right now for Brett Beatty, and right now he's exceeding it. Hopefully he can continue, and I don't like that he had that cleanup, but this is the hand they're dealt until JDM gets here. Marte, 0-4, but he had the big sacrifice bunt. Taylor, another one who saved his narrative by getting that hit late in the game. Could have been 0-4. Narvaez stinks. I'm glad, though, Mendoza, the first decision I am very happy Mendoza made was pinch hitting Omar Narvaez for Francisco Alvarez. I get that it didn't work and Alvarez did not get a hit. It's the right idea, though. They at least went down doing the right thing and putting Alvarez in the game. So I could at least applaud Mendoza for that. And it's sad that I have to applaud him for something so little like that a toddler could have made that decision. But given the way things have gone and given how critical I've been of Mendoza, I have to give him credit when he does something right. And he did something right there. And then Bader, like I said, 1 for 3. He got the first hit of the game. Wendell stinks. He went 0 for 2. And then Short, of course, pitch hit with that sacrifice bunt. But again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm to the moon about this. I'm happy that they won, but they for sure need to find ways to get this offense going a lot more, because if Detroit was even half good offensively and took advantage a little bit, this could have been a very ugly game, because the Tigers, I mean, they went 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, leaving 6 on. So both teams not great offensively in this game, and the Mets got to be way better. It's simple as that. They got to be better. The pitching held it down. I'm very glad that the pitching did what they needed to do, but especially Budo, which again, very good. And then Reed, Garrett. Now tomorrow they go to Cincinnati. I think it's back to Quintana in the rotation, and then it goes to Sevy and so on and so forth with the rotation there. But yeah, huge win if they want to actually give themselves a chance of doing anything this season. Happy they got it, but I still don't feel I don't feel like moved. I don't feel great still. I don't know. I'm just I'd be lying if I said I even reacted when they won this game. I'm not even gonna lie, and it might be negative. You might call me whatever, overly critical, negative, whatever you want to call me, or miserable, Debbie Downer. But like, watching them get no hit through the entire game, I'm glad that the team reacted like it was a big sigh of relief to them, because that's more important to them. My reaction doesn't matter. Their reaction matters more, and I'm glad that they cared. But for me, I personally didn't even react, because it's like you got no hit basically the entire game. And don't get me wrong, there was a sigh of relief that they won a game, but it's not like I was pumped like I would normally be for a win, which is why my tone in general is just kind of down, because they won, but there's still a lot more room to improve here. So we'll see, though. We'll see what happens. But I am going to wrap it up here. Sorry for keeping the post game short. I am trying to watch the Knicks here at the same time as halftime ended there. I just figured I'd go live, because then I could just keep this up instead of having to re-upload this and that. all that fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.